to be here with all of you today. Let me begin by asking the question that bothers me too much and quite often also. And not that you have to answer this question, but it is just for you to think about this question because later during the course of my talk, I will be asking you a couple of questions where you will be expected to answer. But tell me, have you found yourself absolutely convinced about something only to question everything later? Just when you thought it's settled, you begin to question it later. We definitely would like to believe that our minds think in a linear fashion. And we definitely would like to assume that what we think is what we can rely upon. But is that really the reality as such? It will not strike you until you realize that there is something else happening at the back of your mind, in your brain. Our brain, our mind is a battleground. There is certainty and there is doubt. And then these two clash. When certainty and doubt clash, in my opinion, it's a powerful explosion that takes place. And when this powerful explosion takes place, it is bound to generate energy. And this energy, I would describe as paradoxical thoughts being produced in your mind. You think something, and then another thought comes up, and then it challenges the existing thought, and you're forced to do some rethinking on it. When we're talking about paradoxical thoughts as such, which is what our topic is for TEDxCMRIT Hyderabad, I'm so delighted to be speaking about this subject because this is something that I experience day in and day out as I'm a journalist and I've been a journalist for the last 37 years. So every day, every time I'm writing something, this is something that I definitely do. Bring in several viewpoints, bring in viewpoints that differ and bring in viewpoints that actually collide so that from within this framework of ideas and thoughts, something concrete emerges. This paradoxical thoughts takes me to an instance which I would like you to narrate. And it is here that I would like you to pay attention to me because I'll be asking you some questions. See, this incident happened sometime in 2006. There was a question that came up before the commission that was supposed to decide this question. A man and his wife, the woman is not well. She has some kind of a disorder and she goes into medical treatment. But meanwhile, what the husband does is because his wife is undertaking medication for a disorder that relates to the mind, he goes and gives away his baby to another childless couple. All right, listen to me here. The husband is concerned both about the wife and the husband is concerned both and about the child also. And there have been instances where the woman, that is the mother herself, is beating up the child. So the father sees that this little baby needs to be protected. He goes and finds a couple, a childless couple, and says, "Would you like to take care of my baby?" The couple is more than willing to do that because it's a childless couple. But this mother, who's in and out of the hospital, comes and finds the baby missing. She asks her husband, saying, "Where is my baby?" He says, "I've given it to somebody. The baby is well taken care of." The mother isn't giving up. The mother isn't giving up. Then here comes the crucial question, which the commission had to answer. The woman goes to the commission and says, "My husband has given away my child, I want my child back. The husband says, let the child be with the adoptive parents because my child is safe there. The mother says, I want the child back. The commission is in a dilemma. Should they be concerned about the safety of the child, or should this baby be given away back to the biological mother? And here I would like you to take a guess or try giving an answer, because this is a question about which I was also perturbed. I asked the commission chairperson one day and said, what kind of decision are you going to take? Whom are you giving this baby to? The commission, see, journalists, they are good at asking questions, but when then suddenly I myself am countered with another question, I did have an answer at that time. But that point of time, I did start thinking. I had a viewpoint. But I'm asking you now, see, there is a choice. The choice is, should the baby be given to the biological mother, or should the adopted parents be allowed to keep the baby? Or there could also be another choice for you. You could be undecided. So I'm posing this question to you. How many of you, if you think this is so, I want you to shout aloud so that I can hear. How many of you think the baby should be given to the biological mother? Say biological mother if that's your opinion. Uh, all right. That was quite a loud answer, no? Very firm in your opinion. Now, how many of you think these adoptive parents should be allowed to keep the baby because the baby itself, just a 2-year-old baby, didn't want to go to the biological mother, and she was clinging on to the adoptive parents. As soon as she saw her biological mother, she started crying. She was in great fear and didn't want to leave her adoptive parents who had taken care of her very well. Now, if there's someone here in the audience who thinks the baby should necessarily be given to the adoptive parents, say adoptive parents. That's quite a shout. But since the question is a bit tough, some of us may also be undecided, and that also can be an answer. So, if someone here, sitting amongst the gathering here today at TEDxCMRIT Hyderabad, if you're of the opinion that you have a right to be undecided, just say undecided. All right, that's quite a number two. That's quite a number two. So the question was posed to me. I began thinking, but here, the answer that I got from the commission chairperson later just hit me like a thunderstorm. I wasn't thinking in that direction. This paradoxical thought hit me so hard that I had to change my opinion. Then I asked the chairperson why she had taken the decision. But see, some of us have said that the child should go to the biological mother. Some of us have said that the adoptive parents should be allowed to keep the baby. And some of us are undecided. All three are possible. The question that I would like to pose to myself and also make you think about is it wrong to withdraw your decision? Is it wrong to rethink about your decision? Or is it not right to be undecided at this point of time? Everything is possible, because instantaneously when you ask the question, you might want to think about it later. But when the commission chairperson asked me, my thinking changed. The commission chairperson said, the baby will have to necessarily be given to the biological mother. I was a bit surprised. I was a bit shocked. But she took the time to explain to me and said, see, this adoption did not take place according to the legal framework. If somebody doesn't want a baby, they approach the government. There is a government department. You tell the government department that, see, I have a child, but I can't take care of this baby. So you hand over the baby to the government department, and the government department takes some time to decide on who should the baby be given to and why also. It's a long and lengthy process. So somebody not liking the baby, unable to take care of the baby, going and handing it over to another person is not done. So this hit me, this paradoxical thought, it hit me like never before, because if I was asked, I would say, let's give it to the adoptive parents because they've been taking care of the child so well, and the baby also is clinging on to the adoptive parents. When some questions like this come, we are undecided. Sometimes, even if we take a decision, we ought to do some rethinking. But more than that, we could also do some overthinking. But frankly, when we use the word overthinking, it's like it's got a negative connotation, isn't it? Oh, he's overthinking. It does sound like it has a negative connotation, but I would say that it's far packed. When you're doing this overthinking, your mind, your body, your soul, just about everything is completely involved and engrossed in you taking a decision. But overthinkers, when they do this overthinking, they have some kind of negative reaction from the people they are associated with. Let's say there is a decision to be taken, and this question has many shades. When they say, okay, what do we do about this? I might just be silent. And the risk that I have is, okay, he's silent, so it means that he's agreeing with our thought. Because I'm silent, another person may assume that I'm not agreeing with him. Now, both ways it is dangerous, agreeing or not agreeing. So, overthinkers have this dilemma. But overthinkers, when they take the time to decide and not necessarily giving an answer in yes or no, but giving a complete picture so that one can take a decision, that really matters, instead of asking and demanding an instantaneous answer in just one word, yes or no. This overthinking is something that has been troubling me for some time. And when I'm saying it is troubling me, it has been troubling me, it's actually been inspiring me. In 1978, 79, during that time, I'm 57 years old now, so I was 10 or 11 years old. During that time, I learned a Telugu folk art form called Burrakatha. How many of you have heard about this Burrakatha? Can you say yes? Yay. All right. How many of you have watched this Burrakatha? Not many in urban areas do it, but in the rural areas, it's a 1200-year-old art form through which you tell a story. I've always been a journalist right from when I was 20 years old, and I've always been in the English media. But it struck my mind that I have to do something else to put forward or to give out a relevant social message to a particular type of audience. So, what I had to think was, do I change my profile picture? Do I change my profile from being an English language journalist to somebody who's doing something that happens only in rural areas? I started performing Burrakatha. When this overthinking caught my mind, I said, overthinking, thanks for overthinking so much. Now I'm decided I will perform this Burrakatha because I have a message to give. And when I have a message to give, I give it in a way that it appeals to that relevant audience. Since not many of you here seem to have seen or heard of Burrakatha, I'll just sing one or two lines for you. Is that good for you? Tandana hoy tandana hoy tane tandana tandana hoy tane tandana tandena tandana tane tandana devanandana oh devanandana tandana tandana oh devanandana tandana oh devanandana Targika Jambarita. See, this is giving away certain emotions, and these emotions relate to the story that we are narrating. In a story that I narrate, I often give out a message, and this message is about asking people not to fall into cyber traps or cyber crime. This is also what I do in my writings. I talk about people who have been abducted and taken into a different country, and there they've got also rescued when I wrote about it in the newspaper. Finally, there is something that I want to tell you. Charlie Chaplin, he entertained paradoxical thoughts. When he got a chance to perform, he came in and then he just took whatever garments he wanted to wear and he wore them and he became somebody we all know. The world is at your feet when you entertain paradoxical thoughts. Thank you.